Either if you're an attorney and you're looking for ways to be able to get more people to call your law practice, then this video is for you. Now, in this video, I am going to focus more specifically on immigration lawyers, but if you're a family, estate planning, or any other type of law, you will be able to use this for your business or really understand the concepts for your business. So the most important thing with marketing is that you know what you're going to get for what you're spending. The worst thing you can do is spend $1,000 or know that you're going to spend $1,000 and not know what you can expect, which is why we like Google. So why do we always recommend that law firms start with Google? First of all, and by Google, I mean paid advertising. I'm not saying SEO. SEO is great long-term, but most of the time businesses, if we're going to start a conversation, we're going to start a relationship. If I sell you SEO, you're not going to see results for maybe a year or two down the road, and you don't want that. You're going to leave after 3 months. But if you are doing Google ads, you're going to get calls the same week. Now, what is important about marketing is that you put your money in the right place. So Google's definitely the right way to go. Ads are the right way to go with Google. And I say this to really show you that Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, those are all great as well, but those wouldn't be something that we go and start off with because you're not going to get the same quality of lead than you get with Google search ads. And the reason is simple. If someone is looking for a restaurant, someone's looking for a home improvement company, if someone's looking for a lawyer, they're going to Google. They're not going to find them, or they're not going to look for them on Facebook and Instagram. So that is why we always say, let's get started with Google search ads. So like I said, if you're going to get started with $1,000, you want to know what you're going to get for that $1,000, right? So is that going to be 1 lead? Is that going to be 2 leads? Is that going to be 10 leads? And the reason this is important is that whenever a lead comes in, and for us, a lead is either a phone call, someone calling your practice right away, or someone filling out a form, you need those people to contact you so that your team is able to book that consultation, and then they're able to come into your practice, and then you're able to have the consultation and close them as a new case, right? The point of this exercise here is to show you maybe what you can expect if you start running ads on Google, and in more in-depth way, so that you know if you're doing a good job right now with what you're doing, right? Because I've seen companies that spend $1,000, $2,000 or more on sharing posts on social media, and then 3 months down the road, they're like, hey, I didn't get anything out of it. So here I'm going to show you how it is that we can show you what you should be able to expect. Of course, these are just estimates. They're not going to be exactly like this, but you're going to see how it really makes sense. So to start off with Google, we want to make sure that we're targeting the right people. And let me just give you an example of the wrong type of targeting on Google. So like this, immigration law. If I want to show up when someone's searching for immigration law, I'm going to get the students who are trying to become attorneys or who are trying to specialize in or focus on immigration law. You're also going to come across those lawyers who are looking for updates on immigration law or maybe news. So you don't want to go after that. You want to go over specific keywords that are going to deliver the people who are actually looking for an immigration lawyer. And that is city-based keywords. So for example, if we are targeting, or if we're a law firm in Orlando, we're going to want to show up for this phrase, immigration lawyer Orlando. If someone in Orlando is going to look for an immigration lawyer in Orlando, and they will give us something like this. Immigration lawyer Orlando, there's about 1,000 searches per month, and the click ranges between $5 and $28. Now, this is one example. Let's say you want to do Houston, Texas, right? You change that word to Houston, and then you're also going to update the location to Houston, Texas. Here, there's about 3,600 searches a month, and the clicks are between 4 and 35. Now, I'm going to go over clicks in a bit, but I do want to go after some of these examples a little bit one more time so that we get those reps in. All right, so Miami and Texas. In Miami, we have a different range of keywords that people are using, but look, immigration attorney is about 720, and clicks range between 3 and 16. Immigration lawyer Miami, okay. So there's a lot of ranges, right? And I want to focus, we could focus on immigration lawyer Miami right now, but I can't take any more in immigration in Miami because I already have an immigration lawyer I'm working with. But let me just show you an example, right? How are you able to know what the lead cost is going to be? Really is determined by what the market rate is for a click. So not every click that your ad is going to get is going to result in a call. Generally, a good percentage might be 20%. So every 5 clicks, you're going to get 1 call. So what's important to understand is that you want to be competitive with your bids so that you get quantity of leads. You can try to get the $4 clicks, guess what? You might only get 1 lead a month. Versus if you're being competitive and you're going after that $16 click, then guess what? You might be able to spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month on leads, and you're going to be able to get a good volume, right? So if we're looking at spending $16 per click and we need 5 clicks, that means that our lead is going to come in at $80. Now, there is a way to also decrease or get cheaper leads, and I'm going to show you that the solution to that is running ads in different languages that don't have a lot of competition. Which, believe it or not, a lot of immigration lawyers, they don't even cater to the Hispanic community because they cater maybe to, Brazilians or Haitians, and then there's different communities. They might not have people on their team that can speak Spanish, so they don't go after these communities. There's a lot of also law firms that do not cater to Spanish speakers, Brazilians, Haitians, because they only speak English, right? So you want to go and look for the different opportunities that there are in your area so that you are able to decrease your cost per lead. So as you saw, right, in the example from Miami, a $16 click and we need 5 clicks, it's about $80, right? If we're going after those keywords in English, it's about $80 versus in Spanish, it's around, look, that we have the very different, we have a few different searches, but look, let's say this one right here with the most volume has 12 times 5, we're looking at around 60. So if you want to advertise your immigration law services in Miami, if you do it in English, it might cost you $80 per lead. If you do it in Spanish, it might cost you around $60, so a $20 difference. Now, when you go after these competitive clicks, that means that you are going to be able to get a good amount of volume of leads, right? Because you're being very competitive. If you're spending $1,000 on Google Ads and you're paying $80 per lead, you're going to get around 12 leads in a month. Now, it's important to know not every lead is going to convert. Maybe from those 12, you might get 1 or 2 cases, but it's also important to know that those 1 or 2 cases, they might not happen in the same month. Depending on what the case is about, you might need to wait a few months because, as you know, as a lawyer, you know that some of your work is expensive, right? It's expensive for the other party. So some of these people, they're interested in what you have to offer, but they might have to wait a few months before they can start to afford the payments that they have to make. So just keep that in mind because I've worked with many different industries, and what I like about the legal industry is that you do have a lot of cases that are, high ticket cases, but you need to understand that you need to cater to those leads for a few months before they actually become clients. You need to follow up. You need to make sure that, if you don't hear from them in a month, you reach out and say, hey, we're still waiting for you. Because if those people need attorneys. And if you do not follow up with them, they're going to go work with the other one that maybe at some point reaches out again. So you want to make sure that you're still top of mind, so that when they're ready to make a decision, 3 months, 6 months down the road, etc., you're the one that they're going to work with. So again, if you're getting leads in English in Miami at around $80 and you're spending $1,000, 1,000 divided by $80 leads, you're getting about 12 leads. If you're going after Spanish, you're going to get around 16 leads with that $1,000. $1,000 divided by the $60 leads, you're going to get 16 leads. That's the general idea. What I will say though is that you definitely need to get started doing this in the right way, right? I've come across lawyers who will work with companies that have never run ads for law firms and they don't track things correctly, and they spend $1,000, $2,000. They don't know if they got any calls. They don't know if any of those calls actually became clients. So one of the things that we do is we track the leads so that when the client asks us, how many did we get, we'll be able to tell them, look, you spent $2,000 and you got 20 leads, 40 leads, etc. And then the client is able to see that list of leads, and they're able to tell us, okay, great, I'm closing. I close this one, this one, this one. So with that being said, if you are a lawyer and you are looking to advertise your law firm, get in touch with my team and I. You can look at the link below. What we always like to do is focus on generating a forecast like this in your area, because what we do might not work specifically in areas where there's not a lot of people. It makes sense, right? But we've noticed that, in large cities, we have a lot of success because there's a lot of demand, and we're able to take a little bit of that demand, right? Some of that market share, and then we're able to give our clients, new cases. So if you have any questions, just reach out to us in the link below in the description, and let's get in touch. Let's have a conversation and see if this makes sense for you. And yeah, I hope that you found this video helpful. If you have any thoughts on other videos that I should do, make sure to add them in the comments section below. And thank you so much for your time, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.